What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and unfortunately, as most of you all probably already know, Aaron Carter was found dead in his home earlier today. His official cause of death has yet to be released, but we do know that he was found dead in the bathtub. Now, of course, people are assuming that maybe he nodded off and he drowned in the bathtub. We are waiting to find out what the official cause of death is. I'm not sure exactly when that will come in, but I don't want to sound insensitive here. But this is one of those celebrity deaths, or just a death in general, that didn't come as a surprise to me. Especially with all the crazy things going on in this world. Especially if you followed Aaron Carter over the past few years, then I think a lot of us saw this coming. In fact, not too long ago, I actually did a video about Aaron Carter. I can't remember my exact words in that video, and I didn't even go back to watch it before making this one. But I know I talked about things that I always talk about in that video. I often talk about how these celebrity fan bases, how they view celebrities as almost gods, and they enable this crazy, wild behavior. If you've ever watched any of my Britney Spears videos, then you know what I'm talking about. Well, you see, over the past, I don't know how many years, it was clear that Aaron was on a very dark path, and he was battling with addictions and other things as well. Now, I know that at some point he was trying to clean his life up. I can't speak to what was going on in his personal life. I just know that Aaron was extremely troubled. And that the writing was already on the wall. We watched Aaron slowly die for years now. And no matter how crazy or erratic his behavior may be, he still had a loving fan base of enablers who encouraged the behavior, who laughed at the behavior. And I think we're all guilty as a society when we see these child stars, and it's often a child star, going through these crises. We laugh at them. We make memes out of them. And I am not saying this to condemn anyone else, because I am very much guilty of this myself. And we make these jokes, and we don't really think about how serious these situations are. And you know, even though at first Aaron's death didn't come as a shock to me, it didn't come as a surprise. It didn't even really set in, because I had a crazy day today. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm sure you all have watched some of my other videos today. There's a lot of stuff going on in the YouTube world, at least my YouTube world. But then I finally got to sit down after making all of those videos, and I was looking through my phone, and everyone was sharing these kind, sweet posts about Aaron. And that's when I got kind of emotional. It really started pulling on my heartstrings. I got really nostalgic, because you kind of forget those moments. And listen, a lot of you all aren't going to understand how I feel and how other people feel when it comes to Aaron Carter. You had to be a kid or a young teenager in that moment, in that day and age, early 2000s, to really understand. You know, Aaron always thought that he was a bigger star than what he really was at times. And I know that maybe everyone in the world doesn't know who he is. But if you were a kid, at least in America, at that time, you knew who he was. And he had a big impact on pop culture at that point. And when I was looking back at pictures of like Aaron Carter on Lizzie McGuire, seeing pictures of a young Aaron Carter with his brother Nick Carter, or hanging out with Britney Spears, with Beyonce and Destiny's Child, it brought me back to a simpler time in my life. And while I know there will be tons of photos shared of Aaron over the coming days, this is how I choose to remember him. Like this. I don't choose to remember Aaron Carter as the guy that we've seen battling with issues over the past few years. I choose to view him like this, in his peak. And I just wish that he could have found ways to battle through what he was going through. And I don't want to make this about anyone else, but often people ask me, why are you talking about Britney Spears? Why are you concerned about this? Why are you calling this out? This is why. This is why. Because I don't want to see Britney end up like this. Now, I'm not saying that Britney and Aaron, or how Aaron was acting, are the same. They're two totally different things. But when you notice that a person, forget the celebrity, when you notice that a person, a human being, and Britney Spears, Aaron Carter, they are human beings. When you notice that they're battling with something, and you notice that something isn't right, it's best to say something. It's best to call it out. Instead of enabling it until it gets to a point like where it got with Aaron. I do believe that maybe Aaron Carter would still be here today if society was a little bit different. If people weren't scared to call things out, if people weren't afraid to voice their opinions. And I know that Aaron Carter had a lot of fans who were concerned and who have been voicing their concerns for years. But he also had a lot of people that would egg him on. The crazier and crazier things got. So, with that being said, I don't think that we have to find some type of crazy conspiracy to explain what may have happened to Aaron Carter. Because the signs and the issues and the problems were always there. However, I will say that I am getting kind of creeped out about Aaron Carter's last words, or his last tweet. And I'm going to get into that in just a moment. I'm kind of even scared to talk about it. But first, I want you all to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, drop a thumbs up, and drop a comment down below. Rest in peace to Aaron Carter. All right. So last night, Aaron Carter sent out a tweet, and this was his last ever tweet. And it was a simple tweet. And for some, you're going to hear this and be like, what does that mean? Aaron Carter said, "Yo, Kanye, let's talk, man to man." Now, why is that so significant, you ask? Well, you see, Kanye has been wrapped up in some issues and problems and drama of his own. I covered a little bit of it on my channel. I haven't gotten into everything that has happened since because I've been wrapped up with this true crime case and, trying to find out what happened to Quentin Simon. But Kanye's been going through a lot of drama. Now, regardless if you agree with Kanye or you're against Kanye, Kanye dropped some receipts about his personal trainer. Because you see, if you're aware of what's been going on with Britney Spears, then you may be sort of aware of what's been going on with Kanye West. But it appears like people have been trying to put Kanye in a conservatorship for a while now. And at one point, he was sent off to some rehab, and he was drugged out of his mind and all type of stuff. A lot of things have happened to Kanye. Well, Kanye has been saying things that a lot of people don't approve of, especially the higher ups. You know, I don't even want to get into it too much. You see what they're doing to Kanye and Kyrie Irving. But he's been pissing people off. He's been stepping on some toes in Hollywood and in the entertainment industry. So he got canceled from various companies. He's been canceled, lost his shoe deal, clothing deals, you name it. And it turns out that his personal trainer is also someone who helped send him off to this place in the back in the day where they drugged him up and all this stuff happened. Kanye leaked personal messages from his personal handler on Twitter the other day. And I want to read them for you right here because they are very, very concerning. Regardless if you agree with Kanye or you hate Kanye, I think we should all be able to agree that this message is extremely concerning. Here it is. I'm going to help you one of a couple ways. First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation. But you don't use cuss words, and everything that is discussed is based in fact and not some crazy stuff that dumb friend of yours told you or you saw in a tweet. Second option, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to zombie land forever. Play dates with kids just won't be the same. How do you all feel about that? What kind of a threat was that? Can I read that one more time? I am going to help you one of a couple of ways. First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation, but you don't use cuss words, and everything that is discussed is based in fact and not some crazy stuff that dumb friend of yours told you or you saw in a tweet. Second option, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to zombie land forever. Play dates with the kids just won't be the same. If that doesn't scare you, then I don't know what will. If that doesn't scare you, then obviously you don't understand fully what's going on here. Kanye West is a billionaire, one of the most famous people in the world. If these people can treat Kanye like this, how do you think they can treat us? Oh, Kanye, you have a bad opinion that we don't like. Therefore, you better shut the hell up or we will medicate you and send you to zombie land. And you will never be able to play with your kids the same way again because you will be too heavily medicated? Does that not scare the shit out of everyone? And who was this personal trainer? His name is Harley Pasternak. Harley Pasternak. So I just looked into Harley Pasternak for like 2 seconds. I didn't do much research. It turns out he's an advisor for this company, Optimi Health Corp. What does this company do? Oh boy. I'm telling you right now, it gets weird. It's going to sound like a conspiracy, but it's all real. You can look it up. The company that Kanye West's personal trainer works for, the one that told him he'll send him to Zombieland, here's their story. Optimi Health Corp is a homegrown Canadian success story producing and supplying natural EU GMP grade psilocybin, functional mushrooms, and synthetic psychedelics that focus on the health and wellness markets. Now, I know a couple of people are going to be like, well, what does that mean? That means the guy that threatened to send Kanye West to zombie land, he works for a company that makes synthetic, like synthetic mushrooms, synthetic, I don't know if I could even name all of this stuff online. Synthetic psychedelics, okay? They make mind-altering drugs, but they claim they do it for medical purposes. Now, why would Aaron Carter need to talk to Kanye West man to man? You see, all of these celebrities, they have these handlers that control their lives. And they make them put out these messages. They make them tweet out political propaganda. And if they don't fall in line with the mainstream establishment and the people running this world, they send them to zombie land. Now, like I said earlier, and I want to make this very, very clear for everyone here, I've watched Aaron Carter's downfall for years now. I'm not trying to sit here and say that there has to be some big conspiracy behind Aaron Carter's death, because if you paid attention, it looked like this was going to happen at any moment. But let's not forget what got Aaron Carter here. It's what happened to him in Hollywood. Hollywood ruins people. If Aaron Carter wanted so badly to have this conversation with Kanye, is it possible that Aaron Carter had been sent to zombie land before? I know it's easy to make fun of some of these crazy celebrities. I do it all the time. But maybe, just maybe, some of them are kind of crazy because of all the medications and weird stuff they're putting them on. We have it right here. Kanye's freaking personal trainer works for this company that makes fake psychedelics for medical use. And then we see all of these whacked out celebrities, and we wonder what's wrong with them. I find it extremely odd that after Aaron Carter sent that tweet, he was found dead in his bathtub the next day. Coincidence? Most likely. All signs were pointing towards Aaron Carter meeting an untimely demise. But it's still odd. And even if what happened to Aaron Carter was an accident, which it most likely was, I still want to know what Aaron Carter wanted to talk to Kanye about. You see, Aaron Carter didn't reach out to Kanye at this point or that point or that point. Aaron Carter reached out to Kanye directly after Kanye exposed this personal trainer who threatened to send him to Zombieland, who threatened to heavily medicate him to the point that he could no longer even play with his own kids. What was happening to Aaron Carter in Hollywood? Sure, Aaron Carter was a grown man, and you could hold him responsible for some of his actions. But Aaron Carter wasn't the only one. Aaron Carter's death is also on the hands of Hollywood. And I guarantee you all, if we spent time digging into this and looking around, we would find out a lot more. But for now, I want to hear what you all think down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.